How you doing, Infamous Living Room Network? I'm Trenton Sanderson. You're tuned in. Divine power is always working for us because we're trying to do right. I have a really interesting topic I want to talk to you tonight about. Spirituality, how to balance it out with your regular life and still be cool, still be normal, still have your spunk, still have your spark. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really difficult, but in the very beginning stages of awakening and stuff, it's really difficult. I went through this a lot in my earlier pre-stages of awakening, and it was very terrible. And I think I'm gonna discuss some of that with you tonight. I'm gonna expose some of those parts of myself tonight to help you become more balanced, in your spirituality. Because I know how it is. I know how it could be. You're just trying to go out here, you're trying to live your everyday lifestyle or whatnot, and it's like you can't really live it right because you're just thinking in a spiritual mindset, and it's kind of like conflicting with everything that's going on around you. Everything that your friends are saying, you're just not understanding it because it's not anything spiritual. It's not anything to do with like the universe or God, and it just has you in like this complete flux where it's like you do not really understand how to balance this out. I'm gonna help you do that. But first and foremost, folks, if you want more enlightenment tips every day, if you want to remain consciously aware every single day, you need self-development stuff every day, every 24 hours. Make sure you subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner of this video. If you're on a cell phone, it's at the bottom of this video. You'll see the subscribe bar right beside my profile picture. But anyway, though, for the most part, I've had a great day today. I got some Future playing in the background. That song is called Incredible. I've been listening to Future's new CD called Hendrix. And I'm not a super huge Future fan, but I like some of his songs. I like some of his songs. And I really like the beats on this Hendrix album. His music is like really vibable. Like you can really vibe to it and it rides. So I play it in the background, from time to time right now. Uh, Being that I'm sitting down nowadays and doing this camera stuff, like sitting down rather than standing up, trying to change up the vibe a little bit here. But yeah, I had cooked on the grill today. I cooked on my grill or whatever, and it was good. It was tasty. I'm not a big cook or anything, but things are good when it already comes like pre-made. So I cooked really good, but I don't know if y'all was tuning into one of my live videos like a couple weeks ago. I had a bottle of this is Fairbanks Port. It's a wine. I don't drink a lot of wine, but from time to time, when I get real lonely, I'll drink some wine or something like that. So if y'all don't mind me before I get down into this topic, sorry to hold you up, but if y'all don't mind me sipping a little bit of my wine, cheers to you. If you got a glass of wine over there, cheers to you. If you gonna go get a glass of wine, go ahead. I'll give you some time. Let me sip this right here. Y'all ready? Go get that wine. Okay, let's get right. Let's get right. So once upon a time, I was coming into like my spiritual journey or whatever, and like I was reading all these inspirational books, and I was reading the Bible and stuff back in the day and things like that. And I was just really trying to make my life complete. Like I was just really trying to learn who I was. I was just trying to make my life complete and try to make things right because that's what I realized that's what I had to do in order to live the life that I wanted to live. You know what I mean? That's the only way I knew how to do it. And so like I would learn. And it got to the point that it made me so religious that I began to like shun and fetch rocks at everybody around me. I was like the Pharisees. I used to see weird things and people and stuff like that. I used to be like, stop smoking them cigarettes. And so why are you smoking a cigarette? You're a sinner. Why are you drinking? Brother. Is that a ham sandwich? You know that's pork. Like I used to be really religious, like, and I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought I was doing something right by God. Like I just thought that I was like doing the right thing. Like I was one of God's servants. Yeah. Anybody that comes against this grain, I'm gonna punch them. Like, I was just like this really diehard God fan. It's crazy, man. I know it's crazy. And so I just went like that for so long. But in the process of that, I began to like find myself like suffering on the inside. Like I was suffering because here I was trying to be this perfect little angel, and it was not happening. It just was not happening. So I was just trying to be perfect, 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 perfect. But I kept sinning, 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 sinning. I kept making mistakes and making mistakes and making mistakes. And then one day I finally had like this realization, and it all dawned on me. It's like, why am I, why am I doing this when I can never ever be perfect? I don't get it. And so like when I realized that, I could never really ever be perfect, but I could still try to be the best that I can, it's like that's when something happened. Like that's when I had like this really, really big spiritual revelation. It's like this light bulb came on my head, and I just had the answer to why I was here, what my purpose was, why I was doing the things I was doing, what religion was all about versus spirituality, and it just my light bulb just came on because I came to that realization that I'm telling you right now of like you can never be perfect, but you can just strive to try to you know be perfection. You know what I mean? But you'll never be perfect. You're gonna always make mistakes, and so time went on, time went on. Fast forward to another sip of this wine. That wine make you do the bankhead bounce. Yeah, but anyway, so I just I really remained spiritual. I was still spiritual, but I wasn't religious anymore. And I just saw things differently. I saw things differently. I don't know. This is something that happened within me. Like I couldn't explain it to anybody else who was still religious at that time. Like I just felt something within myself that was like, this is for you to know. Everybody else is not gonna be able to understand this. And so like, you know, to me, I found that it was more so about having a relationship with the higher power, like having a relationship with the universe from your own point of view versus trying to please somebody else and make them think that you're spiritual or religious. And I found that that's what a lot of religious people or spiritualists have in mind when they come across this spiritual stuff and this inspiration. It's like they always want to prove to everybody else that they could be good. You know what I mean? Like the whole belief is projected like, if you more spiritual than me, who do you know in the church? Because I go to the pastor house and we eat after Sunday. Every Sunday after Sunday service, we eat. Who are you? Are you a deacon? Are you a deacon in the church, young man? Young man, are you just not realizing God? I can show you. I can show you who God is. He's my next door neighbor, and I got on a suit. You know what I mean? Like so, I grew up thinking that if you had like this ranking in religious places like church and whatnot, like you were closer to the source than I was, because here I was, this young guy who everybody told me I was young. You know how older people do. Oh, you young boy, you young boy, you young boy. You want some peppermint? And they always made you feel like you didn't, you wasn't worthy to be in the level that they are. You know what I mean? And it was kind of crashing in my mind. Like I just really didn't understand, because here I was reading stuff in the Bible where it was like, for instance, I like to refer to Jesus or whatever, the story of Jesus and stuff like that. He was 12 years old and performing miracles and stuff when he was, starting on his journey. It stated he was 12 years old. He was a kid. He wasn't even like a teenager yet. And so I just started I couldn't understand why my life was going the way it was versus what I was reading and what I was learning on the things that I was brought up in. It just didn't add up. It just didn't add up. And so, like I said, this is when I went back and I just kind of like reassessed everything. I just kind of made my own judgment. And then when I made my own judgment of it and I made it out to be what I thought it would be for me, that's when the like light bulb came on. And I was just like, oh, so it's not about being seen as a spiritual person. It's about the relationship. It's about the relationship that you have, with yourself, and that power that's within yourself. It's about having a relationship with yourself. Stop comparing yourself to others. Be in your own reality and make sure that you do the best you can for yourself in your reality. And that's when it was like, aha, this is spirituality. This is spirituality. This is what I've really been waiting on. And so that's when like everything started to happen for me, man. That's when I really started my spiritual awakening journey. And it was like, all goodness from that point on. Like I could be cool again. Like at that time back then, I had stopped drinking, whatever I was drinking. I don't know. Maybe it was Kool-Aid. I had stopped drinking. I had stopped hanging around people that I loved because I thought that they were lower than me because I was more holier than thou. You know, I was going to bed early. Like I was just like really like just really bottled down, and I was suffering at the same time because I was trying to prove to other people that I was better than them. And so that kind of divided me from the universe. And so when I was divided from the universe, I suffered, and my energy was really really low, super duper low. But I came out of that dark place, and here I am right now. And right now, what I do nowadays is pretty much just what I'm doing right now. Just whine from time to time, and just vlog all the day long of my life, and all that's cool stuff. But no, seriously, folks, like I'm a real cool guy. Like I'm a real cool guy who like goes out with friends and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm still spiritual because I've realized that spirituality is about the relationship that you have first of all with yourself. Are you happy, or do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? Because when you love yourself, you don't have to treat anybody negative. You don't have to treat people wrong when you really love yourself. You don't have to step on somebody else's toes when you love yourself. You don't have to hate people and envy people and be jealous of people if you love yourself. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to say love yourself like to the point where it's like you full of yourself. What I'm saying is love who God made you to be and cherish it. Because when you cherish what God made you to be, you keep your energy to yourself, and you only give your energy out to people, places, and things that reciprocate it back to you. No longer do you have to be victim of negative energy and fall victim of it. Like, okay, I'll do anything. What you want? What you want me to do, master? Sweep the porch? Anything, master. Anything that look better in front of my peers. Anything, master. I'll sweep the houses. Yes, sir, master. I'll sweep the porch for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, master. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, them days is over. I don't got no master. You don't got no master either. You feel me? And so, this is what self-love is all about. Self-love is about realizing that light within yourself and realizing, hey, you the head. You ain't the tail no more. You don't have to bow down to anybody. You don't have to follow in somebody's footsteps, and what I mean, not unless you're trying to be, not unless they're your role model and you try to learn from them and like aspire to be more like them. But like I said, I always like to refer back to Jesus, man. When I was reading scriptures, when I was coming up in church, one of the things that Jesus said is he said, those that come after me will be better than me. And it's the truth. So anybody that's before you that you consider great, you are supposed to be better than them. I was just talking to my friend the other day, and we were just talking about, role models and people, of prominence or whatever. And we were just talking about basketball athletes and how most of them aspired to be like Michael Jordan. And some of them are better than Jordan today. I don't know. LeBron James is pretty good now. LeBron James, Steph Curry, I don't know about the light skinned boy, but he all right, though. You always supposed to be better than the ones that come before you. Parents. You always supposed to be better than your parents was. Your parents just gave you the blueprint. Now you supposed to go out and relive it in a better way that they did. You feel me? So if you got parents out there and you feel like they let you down, hey, that's the tools they had that they was working with. You feel what I'm saying? That was a previous generation. You already know every generation comes with much more technology, much more crazier people, yeah, much more retarded, crazy, dumb people like us, like me, And let me get some more of this wine. And so, this is evolution. We living in a time of, where we've evolved from what was before us. So if you have parents out there that you feel like, they didn't do this for you, they didn't do that for you, so what? So what? You're given better tools than they had. Use those tools and be able to build something up, you know what I mean, so that you can help them get back to where they want to be. Because everybody gave it a try. People give it people give it their best shot. We're all human beings. We're all here to get this thing our best shot, man. Even bad guys, even people that people consider bad guys, whatever, convicted felons, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. We're all here trying to do the best that we can with what we know, what we was taught. We take our risks. Some of us fail, some of us succeed. But we're all the same. We're all here to live out this thing called life to the best of our ability. So when you're, a spiritual person and you're out here in public or whatever, listen, be your real true self when you're out in public, whether you're at the bar, whether you're over your friend's house, whether you're at a reception, whether you're at a baby shower, whether you're at work. Be your real true self. If you know from time to time you're gonna say some cuss words here and there, damn, well, say some cuss words then. I mean, as long as you know where your heart is, know your heart. Know your heart, know your heart, and make sure that every word that you say out of your mouth has a good intention behind it. Because life does get us in this little frenzy where it's like we forget about spirituality. And because we're human. We're human beings, man. We're human beings who could never ever be perfect. So if anybody tell you they perfect, or anybody walks around with these robes on or whatever, whoever you want to call it, whatever, you can call it Catholic, priest or whatever, you see the things that's going on and coming out about that type of stuff. I'm not going to get too in that, but basically nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And people want to carry on these traditions and these spiritual rituals and like they so perfect. No, you not. You a monk. You study Buddha, whatever, Krishna, whatever the case may be. You might be setting Indian style, but come on, you ain't like that every day, all day, 24/7, 365. It ain't no smile on your face all the time, so quit faking it. Be real. Be real. Be who you really are, okay? Okay? Because when you are who you really are, people will see, you know what? Dang, they spiritual. I know the spiritual things they all about, but they so cool at the same time. I can hang around them and be myself. See, it's not for nobody to look at you and say, "Hey, is he spiritual? Is she spiritual? Is she spiritual or not?" Spirituality is something for you. It's something that's in your heart that only you supposed to know for yourself. Spirituality is like your navigation system that gets you through your life. It's not nobody else's navigation system. The way you live your life and the path that you take and the things that you experience on your path are what people will see and be like, why did they do that? I wonder what made her do that. I don't know. Stop. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I don't know. Listen. Stop. Listen to what I'm saying. I really like the way she did that, though. I don't know. She's different. I want to be like her. I'm gonna hang around her some more. I'm gonna call up. Yeah, I should hang around her some more. And people won't necessarily tell you that, but they think about those things behind closed doors. And so what I'm saying is, be a light. Live by example. You don't got to talk about your spirituality or the God you worship when you're around people. Be your regular self. They'll feel the energy. They'll see the glow on you. They'll see the radiance. It's beyond human comprehension. It's beyond human comprehension who's a spiritual person versus who's not. It's just something that another person's spirit resonates with. Like their spirit can pick it up that you are like different, and it's admirable. It's synthetic, it's Connecticut, and they want to move with that. That Future in the background playing. You must be hallucinating. But yeah, man, it's really real, man. You got to be able to just know how to balance out the two. I still do things that I used to do, nowadays. I'm not like to the degree of where it's like traumatizing me or making me live a bad life or anything, but I just make sure that I'm able to be humble. I'm able to come back down to earth. Because if you stay in this spiritual stuff 24/7, you drive yourself crazy. You'll drive yourself crazy, man. Like, you gotta get outside and just do regular things. You can't always be reading books, nerds. I'm a nerd too. I'm the biggest nerd of all. I don't know. When I went to Harvard, though, I seen some real nerds up there, man. They was like true nerds at Harvard. And but I am a nerd, though. Seriously, I'm a nerd, and I'm proud of it. Once upon a time, I couldn't say that, but I'm a nerd, and I'm proud of it. And it's like you have to really make sure that you are always being your real true self. You're always making people feel comfortable around you. Don't talk about spirituality around people, not unless they want to talk about it. Okay, so That's all I really have for this video, man. You can still be cool. I'm so cool, man. But I'm so spiritual too at the same time. But don't talk to me about dreams because I bring up all kind of lucid stuff, you know? But if you just live in regular and you talking to me about regular stuff, I can talk about McDonald's. I mean, I know what burgers taste like. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know what Walmart is like too. It's like a club in there. You know, people be dressed, all the girls being there be dressed in with the little, you know, the hoochie banana shorts on and stuff like that. It's like a literal club in Walmart. You know, especially back there on the I ain't even gonna say what aisle I'm thinking of, but y'all know the aisle back there with a, yeah, it all goes down in that aisle back there. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You're probably like, what aisle? What aisle? See, that's that wine talking. It's that port. Anyway, again, this is Fairbanks Port. My friend put me on this, man. It's real good. Well, first it started out with my cousin's mother. My cousin's mother put me on Taylor Port. Okay, and so I had my friend to go get me some Taylor Port from the store because I didn't feel like going to get me. And then they brought back some freaking Fairbanks Port, and I'm like, that's the wrong one. And so when I poured it and I tasted it, I'm like, oh, this is good. So the universe like upgraded me from Taylor Port to like Fairbanks Port, and so I just been drinking it ever since. I'm gonna finish drinking this wine, y'all, and I'm gonna render this video. Speak or let your voice be heard. Let me know what your spiritual life is like versus your everyday reality, and how are you able to balance the two. Make sure you subscribe. More inspirational videos coming soon. Thank you so much for being a Rim team member. I'm glad to have you. Speak up, let your voice be heard, folks, because y'all know I'll be replying. I'll be seeing y'all. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM. Do whatever you have to do to get in contact with me. Again, if you're a Life Path number 11, make sure you join the Life Path number 11 group and join all 300 plus Life Path number 11s over there in that group on Facebook. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Peace.